Welcome to my Iceland Volcano video from July 17th and 18th of 2023. This was simply an incredible trip, something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. And I was very fortunate to be standing at this location to witness this awesome spectacle. I was within 20 minutes of flying back home to America empty-handed. For 4 days before I was able to stand there, this was my view. This is from the highway, the airport highway between Keflavik and Reykjavik. There was a small hilltop that you could go stand on and just barely get a glimpse of the lava poking out from the top of the crater. The authorities had closed the trail, and they closed it the day I arrived and had it closed for 4 days. And I was on my way to the airport. In fact, this video was my last, what I thought might be my last view. I drove from here to the airport to turn in my car and got notice that they opened trails. So I extended my stay for a day and got another rent car, and this was what I was looking at 2 hours later. That was coming around the trail, and they had the kind of the search and rescue people, and a couple of police officers were there, and it kind of kept us corralled away from the lava here. This is about a mile away from the cone where the lava was spewing, and I'll point it over there. So that's about as close as we could get when I first showed up on the scene. This was early in the afternoon. But it's still, it's still just an amazing sight. So I'm not playing any of the audio from that day because the wind was awful. The weather was awful. It was cold and windy. The sounds, I wish I could get the sounds, but there are others that you can go look at to get the sound of this lava, and this lava is just slowly creeping towards us. And here we're about, probably maybe 30 meters away. I'm using meters because, I was in Iceland. But one thing that was certain at this point is it is creeping towards us. So I'm not playing the sound because the sound on all the video just turned out horrible with the audio. So I've picked out some good Icelandic music, and that's what you're going to listen to when I'm not talking. So here we finally realized that closer to the where most of the people were hanging out, the search and rescue and the police were kind of keeping people away. But way down from there were people that went down there, and you could get right up to the lava. So this guy has an interesting story. I was chatting with his wife. He's a geologist from Poland. And evidently in Poland, a few million years ago, they had massive lava flows, and there's a particular type of crystal that formed that only formed in Poland because of some type of clay that they have in the soil there. And this certain type of crystal formed when the lava interacted with the clay soil that they have there in Poland. So this guy, what he wanted to do is he actually brought some rocks, some clay, some hard clay from Poland, and he wanted to try to kind of recreate that with lava from here, from this volcano. I asked him later on. He kind of was like he kind of said he had kind of success, but he was trying to sandwich these clay pieces in with the lava. So later on, as the sun's going down, we got up on top of that hill that I was just there. Just kind of get an overview of where the lava flow was going. And again, this is farther down away from where the authorities were keeping everybody away from the lava. And here, me and my buddy, you just saw him there. That's my buddy from Ireland, Greg. His real name is something hard to pronounce, but he just told me to call him Greg. So anyway, so we got some nice close-up shots of lava here. It sounds like a constant like glass breaking, like all those rocks are actually made out of glass. And you hear this crinkling as it slowly moves forward, and it's just amazing. And here I'm about 10 feet away, or say 3 meters, and the heat is almost too intense to get any closer. I mean, to get closer was to start dealing with pain, and it's just, it's just an incredible feeling to be close to something like that. And it is a weird contrast with the cold wind. The wind was probably 30 miles an hour constant, and just blowing the smoke and the dust, and just everybody there was just filthy with dust. But it's just we spent hours here just walking up and down, looking at the lava as it constantly moved forward. Every once in a while you see a big piece break off over here or over there, and you just never knew when it was going to kind of collapse down. And but one thing was constant, was it had a constant movement forward. I mean, it was getting closer to us all the time. So we over time we had to back up over those several hours that we were there. Every once in a while, someone from the search and rescue would come down and move people back, but as soon as they went away, everybody went right back. And I understand why they move people away, because they feel responsible for the general public and everything. But I chase tornadoes, and a lot of the other people there were also adventure thrill seekers, and people like me and people like them, we have a different level of safety. And I know it's a volcano and there's gases that can come off of it. There's dangers. Yes, I understand that. But I fully accepted, and they fully accepted responsibility of the dangers. And so we were constantly pushing in to get as close as we could. Now, one story that was kind of funny with my Ireland buddy from Greg there, he had a drone that he had just lost when I first met him, and the drone was actually sitting on top of the mountain. So he was flying it over the lava, close to the lava fountain there, coming out of the crater, and he got one of those battery failures where the battery just went from like 50% to 5%, and it was going to land. And so if you look there, you can see a little rise just to the left of the volcano, and his drone landed on that hilltop there, and we couldn't get any closer. And so we were, he was kind of bummed about that, but he was able to get the video off the cache on his phone. Now, one of the things that here, the sun is starting to go down, and I'm thinking, okay, the sun's going to slide, because it never does really set. It kind of slides from left to right here. And I was just going to stay all night and get the sun kind of sliding across to get different views of it as it slid past the volcano there. So I was kind of committed to staying there and just accepting that this was my view for the night. But around midnight, all the search and rescue and police just left. And so I was looking at the guy standing next to me, and I said, are they letting us get closer now? Because I saw people starting to walk close to the thing. And here, I'm walking closer. I'm walking with the mass of people here, going over to get closer to the volcano. And anyway, the guy looked at me, and he goes, I don't know. And he goes, I thought they were keeping us away because of gas. And I looked over there, and we could just see a horde of people just moving across the empty space there. It was over a kilometer to where we wanted to go. And I was like, well, there's a lot of canaries over there, and none of them are dead, so we just took off. And here I'm getting closer and closer. So every once in a while, it's because I just couldn't believe that we were able to get closer. So I had to just stop every once in a while and get the video in case, they send a helicopter to come over and tell us to turn around or whatever. But no, everything was cool. You can kind of see a drone flying around really close to the lava there. Drones were everywhere. There were, at any given time, there were probably 30 or 40 drones in the air. And so now I am climbing up that hilltop where Greg landed his drone. And Greg had actually went back to the parking lot before all the police left, so he had no idea. And when he got back there, he saw me he saw pictures from my account of this, and he was just like, I'm on my way. So he came back. That was a 6 mile hike back to this spot. So he put on some hiking miles that day. But this view, I got up on top of that little rise there, and there were probably 50 other people up there with me. And it was just, we walked up to the top, and it was just an awe-inspiring sight here. And here is about as dark as it got. There actually was a cloud bank that kind of moved in, which made it much darker than what it normally is, because the sun is actually behind the volcano at this point. And so, but we got some nice dark views there. I'm zoomed in. Most of this footage is from my cell phone, because I was there to take photos. But actually, I was not happy with a majority of my photos. But I was there mainly to experience it. I didn't want to lose it with all the technical details of having to get good pictures. I wanted to live this. This is the lava flow, just literally a stone's throw away from where we were on top of that hilltop. Now, we weren't in any danger of lava because the lava was flowing between us and the taller mountain that's just on the other side of this lava river here, which they call Little Hooter, which is Little Ram. And the following days, that became the primary focus for everybody hiking. But that's like it takes twice as long to get to that location as that day. And I almost tried to go to the Little Hooter side, but not very many people were, and I wasn't going to take a chance of missing anything. So I went with where most of the people were going. So here the sun is starting to rise again, and it's just the views with the smoke and the lava, and it was just simply an incredible experience. There you can see a drone again. Drones were everywhere, and many drones were lost. Greg was fortunate to get his drone back, and he got some amazing footage off of it. But everybody got amazing footage. I was going around, the people that were here up on this hilltop, the 50 or so people that were up there with us, they were kindred spirits. We were all giddy and just talking with each other, and it's like we were catching up with each other's lives, even though we were total strangers from all over the world. People from all over the world were up there, but it didn't matter. We're all brothers enjoying this amazing sight together. And I made some great friends. I still keep in touch with some of them now on social media. It's just amazing. So Little Hooter is that rise that's off to the left there that goes up. It's a pretty tall volcano there, or old volcano. And again, I spent a total of almost 16 hours out here just taking it all in. I just couldn't walk away. This is probably around 4 o'clock in the morning right here. It was just simply amazing. Now lava kind of snaked around, and it flowed right off onto just to our left, and you could follow it down where it flowed down to where we had been corralled earlier in the day. That's where it was going to, down there. Some more close-in footage. some clouds kind of came in and changed the scenery a lot. The lighting conditions changed dramatically throughout the night. At one point, there was someone who brought an outdoor speaker there, and they started playing the Lord of the Rings theme, and it's just everybody cheered when they did that. It was a pretty funny moment because it just fit. I mean, it just fit. So to sum up this trip, it was simply an incredible, awe-inspiring experience, and I've experienced some pretty awesome things. It just showed you the power of God is just unbelievable, and is something that I will be with me for the rest of my life. Made some incredible friends, and I thank God every day that I was able to experience it, because I was 20 minutes away from having my boarding pass and not getting to experience any of this. So thank God.